Hello, team. Welcome to our Monday night Zoom call, tips from the top Zoom meetings. I am so excited about today's Zoom call. It is featuring Jill Renfro. I actually had the privilege of officially meeting her at our Jules training that me and Holly and Kelly attended to this past February. And when I heard Jill's testimony about how Plexus has changed her life, I'm pretty sure us three were all bawling. So ever since that day, Jill, I've always loved your spirit, and I just loved your testimony. I'll tell Jill to kind of share her testimonies about how she got into Plexus and how she's been so successful. But I love her testimony, and I know she's definitely going to share how she was able to retire her husband from the oil business, which I'm kind of glad you did because obviously it has gotten bad. So it's perfect timing that you're able to retire your husband. How you were also able to retire yourself from your teaching job, and you went Sapphire that same week, I believe. So I know it's been an amazing past few months. So I'm so excited that you're on this call with us. So Jill, take it away. Share us about your story and everything.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for asking me. It's such an honor to get to chat with y'all tonight and hang out. So if you weren't with us a second ago, disclaimer, I do not get dressed up for these calls. I do not put on makeup. I don't wear a bra during them. Like, I am just myself. So that is Plexus freedom completely. Completely. I don't care if you're gold, sapphire, diamond, whatever. Like, no, you should be able to work this in your pajamas at the comfort of your own home. I have been on Plexus 2 years in June. So it's been about 24-ish, 5 months, something like that, 25 months. And I completely started Plexus to get skinny. That's it. All I wanted, nothing else of it. I did not even research the products. I was not anybody who was considered crunchy or holistic. No, I was like trying any fad out there. I've done it all. And I had someone come to me and say, this is it. Let's do this together. Like my diet buddy, I said, okay, sounds good. Sign me up. That was the way, like, I didn't even question it. And I actually joined as a retail customer because I was so unaware about anything and everything. Oh, we got another background going on now. But I joined as retail because that showed my belief in my own health journey, and I didn't want anything drafted out of my account, and that shows you how much I failed at other things before. That I knew about day 30 I'd probably be done, so I didn't need anything drafted or anything like that at all. And within about a week on these products, I decided to join as an ambassador because y'all know how that goes. You get on these products for like 5 days and you fall in love. So I fell in love with Plexus immediately within that first week. And I said, okay, sign me up as an ambassador, but only for the discount. Like, that is it. Is there any way that I can cancel this shipment? Like, what's going on? I was real hesitant about all of that. Being a teacher in Texas, you don't make a lot of money. Nope, no. If they've ever told you that, they're lying to you. And then my husband in the oil field would go up and down. So, like, when it was really good, it was really good. And when it was really bad, it was really bad. So there'd be times, like his thousands of dollars worth of paycheck would go to like $200. And, you really couldn't fluctuate a lifestyle to live on. It was like, whoa, do we live like this or do we live below our means? I mean, it was just up and down and nothing was constant. So anyways, when I got joined to be an ambassador, I got my whole little welcome pack and all yippee skippy, not anything wanting to do with it. And I loved it. And so I'm a talker. I will talk to a brick wall. I meet a friend wherever I go. I am the girl who shares about candles because they're on sale at Bath & Body Works, and I'm the girl who tells you what makeup to go get because it's going to help you out if you have like greasy skin. So that's just me. So I fell in love with Plexus, started posting about it, just telling people what I was doing. Still no interest in wanting to make this a business at all. Just like, hey guys, all right, I found the road to skinny. Like, I think that was my like first post or something like that. Like, this is what I'm doing. I've already put food in containers, drink the shakes and things like that. So woo, trying this. And I like it. So shared that within about, I would say another week. So about 2 weeks on the products, I became infatuated with Plexus. Like, I'm talking obsessed. Like, all I wanted to do was read about these products, learn about the ingredients, and like tell people. So I'm going, and the person I'd signed up under, they were going, you know, you're already kind of like working the business. You know a lot already. You love the products, you know, try posting, try sharing, and actually try doing it. So I did. And, you know, wow, like holy moly, wow, when you actually decide to do it. I remember my first Plexus paycheck was $42, which is not enough to jump up and down about, but it was for us. That was enough to fund my nail addiction that I have that's very bad. And like, my husband has even made me bets before, like, I bet you can't go a month without your nails. I'm like, you're right, I can't. So that fund my nail addiction without even going into our budget. And then I remember my second Plexus paycheck was about $750. And at the time, we were not homeowners, we were renting, and our rent was $750. So for us, that was game changer, that this opportunity to just do this part-time and share and do turned into making our rent. I mean, that we didn't even have to worry about my budget, his budget, our finances, and anything. So I ran with it. It did take me 9 months to go gold. Most people are pretty shocked with that. They're like, oh my God, you know, you was so easy. No, 9 months to go gold, because you have to figure out what you're doing. And I had to really draw my line in the sand, and I'll talk to y'all about that later on the call tonight. I had to really do that. And then after I went gold, it just kind of took off and went about, I'd say about 18 months on Plexus. I had about 3 times my teacher's salary, and it was 16 months when I went Emerald. And so about 18 months, I had about 3 times my salary. And then today I'm 25 months in, and I have about 7 or more than 7 times my salary. So like y'all were saying, I got the opportunity back in January. My husband, being in oil, was gone quite often, like quite often. And his phone would ring and they'd say, we need you to leave in town at 7 p.m. tonight. We'd be at Cheddar's eating dinner. And it was a hot mess. Like, I was not okay in that. Till this, like, honestly, the reason we don't have kids today, that's one of the reasons. I did not want to be a, you know, single married mom kind of thing. Like, I just didn't want to do that. And so I knew something would have to give. And me being a teacher, I devoted tons of my personal time to my kiddos in my classroom. I was one of the first teachers in the parking lot. I was one of the last teachers to leave. Saturday school, after school tutorials, before school tutorials, anything. And it really scared me. I said, who's going to do what? Like, with our kids. I feel bad even thinking of, like, we have a dog, and I feel bad that we have a dog. We're never home. We're always on the go. Like, we're crossing each other's paths. We're never together. And it just became this cycle that was like, wah, wah, wah. And I hated it. And so when I finally took that line and drew that in the sand for Plexus and made this a business, I told my husband, I'm going to bring you home from the oil field. And he kind of chuckled and was like, nothing makes as good as money as oil field, babe. Like, sorry about it. And I said, you know, well, Plexus does.
Did we lose Jill?
I don't know what happened.
Jill is
Hello.
muted.
Hello.
There we go.
You accidentally muted yourself.
I know. I don't know what that was. Like, my phone did like this little thing, and I tried to take it off, and I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I told my husband, I said, you know, I'm going to bring you home from the oil field. I'm doing it. That was my why. Like, it shook me from the insides. It was enough to make me break down. And I said, I'm doing this. And he supported me, but was very much like, nothing makes really that good of money, babe. And I said, I don't care. I don't care. And thankfully, by the grace of God, this January, we were able to make that decision, and he was able to come home for good. He does not travel anymore for his job. We sleep together every night, which is a whole new world. We brush our teeth in the morning together. It's a whole new world. And he is able to just work around town locally and do the types of things that he loves. He's like the handyman above all handymans on crack. Like, he can do and fix anything. And he just gets to do that. And then this May, I'm only 27, and I got the opportunity to not return to the classroom anymore. The state of Texas is super hard on a teacher, and I know a lot of states are getting that way. They're super hard, and I was in a tested subject, and it was a lot. Like, so much a lot to where I wasn't even sleeping at night, and I was bringing way too much stress home. And thankfully, I've been able to make that decision. And today, I'm just doing Blacksys, and I'm not going back in August, so it's kind of nice. Kind of different, but kind of nice. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell of how I got to where I am today.
So you said it took you 9 months to go gold. I'm actually really glad you shared that, because I kind of feel we have a ton of silvers on our team. They have drawn their name in the sand. I kind of feel like people say they're going to do this, but they don't do it. What is it that finally clicked for you to be like, I'm going on all in? And what did you do to go from silver to gold? Because it's one thing to say it and then to do the activities to actually accomplish it.
You're so right. And that was one of the things I actually wrote down to talk to y'all about, because so many people think, oh, she's a jewel, or oh, she's sapphire. Oh my God, they retired both of them. They must have just boomed and it must have just took off from the beginning. No, that's not the case. It's called hard work and sacrifice. That's what it's called. You know, I was able to have really good PD. I was selling product, and, you know, I was making the money, you know, part-time money, like I said. And when I finally found my why, that is the hands down thing that you have to do. A why of getting my nails done wasn't enough to change my life. A why for me to just have extra spending money did not make me cry, did not make me want to work so hard at 11 o'clock at night, or 15 minutes sitting there, or hopping on another call in the middle of the week, or whatever. That wasn't enough to do it. When I finally sat down and thought, wow, you know, I'm unhappy. I love my husband. I'm very blessed. We have a, you know, great home, but I'm unhappy. Why am I unhappy? We're not together. I don't see the opportunity of us having a family that would be, you know, fair to a child or fair to myself. I don't see the opportunity of me ever getting out of the classroom. I'm going to be stuck in those four walls with that fluorescent lighting for the rest of my life, draining the bone marrow out of me. Like, that's how I felt. And that sounds sad. I love teaching. I loved it. So if you're a mom on the call, I'm not saying I hate kids and teachers don't want to teach your kids. That's not it. I very much considered myself almost an actress. I'd walk in there and flip the switch and become Miss Renfro and this, oh my gosh, excited, over the top lesson teacher. And then those kids would leave and I'd become Jill, and Jill was drained and she didn't know who she was, because I was this Miss Renfro on guard all the time. Parents calling me at 10 o'clock asking about homework. Saturday, they don't care what you're doing. They're texting you. You know, they don't care that it's Christmas break. They want to know what they got to do when they come back. And I just thought, I just don't want to do this. And I'm doing this without my husband. He's gone. I'm upset. And every time we talk on the phone, I was just a basket case. I'm like, you know, come home. What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And I remember our conversations, and he's like, babe, this is our life. You know, we chose this. You went to school to be a teacher. I went to school to be a welder, and the job that I got to be a welder is on the pipeline in the oil field or whatever that is. And that's the best money. It's what we have to do. And I remember just bawling and thinking, what in the world? There has to be something else out there. So I said those things out loud to him, my mom, myself, my friends, but I never got down on my knees and prayed like, God, what else is there? But God knows. He knows the desires of your heart. He knows when you're not happy. He knows. And I feel like Plexus fell into my lap, and it took me the time to have a wake-up call and to think, this is a business. I'm seeing girls over here go gold and senior gold, and that girl has a Lexus. What's different between her and me? Nothing. That she chose to work hard, and I'm sitting here wishing. I guarantee you she's not wishing. She's working. So if right now I have PV, I'm making, you know, 50, 60 bucks. And I said I made 700 bucks. It was life-changing to make our rent. If I can do that by just selling here and there and sharing, what would really happen if I did it for real, for real? And that's one of the things I wrote down to share with y'all today. Really drawing your line. Not drawing your line, really drawing your line. Because a lot of people say, I'm in it. I'm here. I'm so excited. I want to be dumb, and I'm going to get a Lexus. I'm going to the top. Very cool. You're just blowing smoke up your butt if you're just saying it. That is it. It's words. It is the action that it takes. So if you think I'm going diamond and I'm going to get a Lexus, are you doing diamond and Lexus work? Because I guarantee you a diamond and somebody who drives a Lexus isn't just posting on Tuesdays and saying they want to go to the top. They're not. And I guarantee you somebody who is a jewel in this company or whatever rank you want to be, maybe your mindset on senior Ruby. That's where your husband says you can quit your job. Maybe your mindset is Ruby. That is enough to supplement your income. I guarantee you a Ruby ambassador, whatever that goal you have in your head, they're doing more than half butting it. Let me use that as a nice word. Like they're doing more than that. So I challenge you to find your why that shakes you and makes you cry. And then ask yourself, what's more important? Bringing my husband home or watching 3 hours of Netflix? When I finally asked myself that, I was like, you're a pine blank idiot. What are you doing? Like, I am the Bachelor fan of all Bachelors. Like, it's honestly paused on my TV right now. Like, I love it. Like, highly obsessed with this. But let me tell you what. This is my first season to watch kind of live. Like, obviously, it's not. It's paused. And I still don't make it through a whole show. I end up watching it over a week span. Kind of live in 2 years. Why? What was more important for me? To watch Who Got the First Date Rose or to bring my husband home? Okay? That was an easy no-brainer thing for me. What was more important for me? For me to go out with friends to another happy hour or for me to hop on a Zoom call? That was a no-brainer for me. It was. And so I know a lot of you might say, oh, well, Plexus is supposed to fit in the nooks and crannies of your life and blah, blah. It is. Now, you've got to fit it in the nooks and crannies of your life in a smart way, which means sacrifice. So for myself, I love to sleep. Like, I don't do well on less than 6 hours. Like, you might not want to be around me. And I gave up some sleep. What was more important for me? To kind of be a little bit tired or to wake up an hour before my husband on Sunday and get some things done so I could spend the day at church and lunch and clean the house? What was more important to me on a work day? I was one of the first to pull in the parking lot, 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. That's early. Plus, we live 30 miles outside of town, so that's a drive. I live in the country. Plus, having to get up and look professional for the day because teacher, you gotta look professional. You can't look like this. And so I'm talking alarms would go off at 4:40 in the morning, But that to me, to work from maybe 4:20 to go ahead and type a post up. Maybe not post it because nobody's awake then. Type a post up. See what I want to do. Find a YouTube video that I want to watch. Get something ready for my team page so I could go and quickly post it at break or whatever that may be. Kind of making a plan for the day. That giving up an extra 30 minutes of sleep, was that more important to me, or did I want to make sure my husband and I were home and that I didn't have to do that anymore? I could watch The Bachelor live because I had time freedom. I could not wake up at 4:40. I'm not waking up at 4:40 anymore. Heck no. But I'm able to do that now. I have time freedom. Tell my team, temporary sacrifice for long-term freedom, it's a no-brainer dumb question. Like, you shouldn't even go like, well, I don't have time. Yes, you do. There are women in this company going diamond with 11 kids, 7 kids, working 3 jobs, doing whatever it takes. It's you feeding a brain of excuses in your head. That's what it is. So if you're stuck right now, because I will tell you, when I was silver, trying to go gold for 9 months, I was a ball of excuses. I'm a teacher. I'm busy during the day. I can't answer my phone. I can't message people back. I'm young. I don't like to go out anymore. I'm turned into a homebody. I said every excuse I could ever do. Oh, it's kind of hard, putting myself out. People are going to judge me. Okay, cool. Come up with all the excuses you can, and I promise you I've got one that can match it too. But does mine or yours matter more? No, they're both dumb. Either or. And I know I don't have kids, so I work around bath time and soccer games, and I understand that. But I have amazing friends in this company who are Emerald, Sapphire, and Diamond, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. And they're, and they're doing it great doing it. So to me, when my team comes to me with excuses, I'm like, stop. That's you telling yourself you don't want it. You don't want it. And if you don't want it right now, that's okay. That's fine. But when you're ready, come on. I'll run with you because going fast is fun and running is fun. It is, because look at all the things that you could achieve and you could do. So I was a ball of excuses, and I was still a ball of excuses about 6 months ago. I've done, I was doing Zoom calls, training calls, all these things, helping my team out, hosting this and that, and doing blitz days and Saturday gets-togethers. The one thing I wasn't doing was three-way calls. I made up excuses. Nobody talks on the phone anymore. I'm 27. We all text. Nobody wants to get on the phone no more. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't have time. I'm working all day long. The last thing I want to do at 7 o'clock is get on the phone with somebody. One of my great friends, Sarah Taylor, who is a Diamond Gold ambassador, she's one of my best friends. I went to her and I said, what do I do now? What do I do? Because I was at Emerald and kind of at a standstill. And she said, you're already doing this and this and this and this and this and this. And I know you're doing it well. I'm on your team page. I'm there. And she goes, but you know what you're not doing? You're not doing three-way calls. Why? And I gave her every excuse in the book. I'm busy. I'm teaching. I'm 27. You're in your 30s. Nobody wants to talk on the phone at 27. Compared, and she said, it's relationships. And I guarantee you the people you have falling through the cracks will stop falling through the cracks the second you get them on the phone and act like you care about them and you do invest in them. Well, I bit the bullet because obviously Sarah Taylor knows what she's talking about. Diamond Fast Start ambassador with the husband who's Sapphire. I'm like, I'm going to listen to you. And I did them. And guess what? They worked. I started doing them in March, and I was stuck at Emerald Points. I was around 16, 17, stuck. Started doing it in March. Boom, went Sapphire in May. People stopped falling through the cracks and blew past Sapphire. Like, wow. And that wasn't one thing that I fixed. So my biggest advice to somebody is when you're stuck, ask yourself, what am I not doing that I'm too scared of? Well, it's time for you to start doing that. So if you have not started a thread with your team, building relationships, hosting a call, doing a video, doing three-way calls, posting very vulnerable on Facebook, all of those things that you could do, then it's time. Whatever excuse you're feeding in your brain, I guarantee you that's the wall that's holding yourself back. I guarantee you it is. Because I'm not perfect. I still have some stuff today I am working on, but I know that that's the wall that's holding me back from the next step. And I've got to learn to overcome that, through prayer, through work, through practice. So definitely, if you're somebody who's silver right now, stuck at that point, you think you'll never go gold, you will. But you can't do the same thing and expect different results. So if you've been shooting for gold for 15 months, 12 months, long time. I know there's people out there, like that. That's okay. Maybe it's 3 months. Well, if you're going to do the same thing tomorrow you did today, don't expect to change. Don't. And so when my team comes to me like that, I'm stuck. We don't use the word stuck in my team. I say, no. Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to grow? And they're like, well, yeah. Well, then you're not stuck. Then it's time to start growing. To grow, what do you got to do? Change. To change, what do you got to do? Learn. To learn, what do you got to do? Take action. And so I kind of go back to teacher world on them and treat everybody like an 8-year-old. Because guess what? We all need to be treated like that. I do too. I have some really great mentors in this business who are the ones that treat me like that. They're like, Jill, no, okay. But you've got to have somebody like that. And if nobody's like that for you, then be that for yourself. Be that for yourself and say, God, I sound dumb. The reason I don't have, this, and this, look at all the excuses I'm making up. And if you are content to where you are and you're content in your excuses, then okay, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are not content and ready to go past the wall that they are. Then you've got to change something. Every rank I've gone through in the steps of Plexus, and even getting my husband through the ranks, because we all know how that goes. The woman does all the work on the husband rank, but still doing that, making him go gold or him senior gold, I've had to change a little bit. Because it's not the same thing it was when I was going through silver, gold, senior gold, and so on. So I'm still having to change again. Every rank becomes another growing process. Every single rank, every step, every point that is added on to your reports at the end of the month. If your points are going up, you're growing. If your points are staying stagnant or they're dropping, then why do you even have excuses at this point? Like, why? It's showing. Now, there's times things are going to happen. We've got back office. We've got this, but we can't make the excuse on that. Okay, because of this, and this, and the fire that's blazing at me, what am I going to do to get through the fire, not even smelling like smoke? What am I going to do? Okay, I can't sit here and keep doing the same thing because guess what we have now? Compliance. We can't do before and afters. We can't post certain ways anymore. We've got a lot of things we're doing. So what it took for us a year ago to have growth, we may not have that growth again because the year ago growth was from before and afters. Well, we can't do that right now. A year ago, maybe it was about posting about Candida and yeast. We can't do that right now. So what can you do to grow? Relationships, reach out to people, send that before and after in a private message, talk about that personal yeast problem or whatever it is in a personal message to somebody. And how do you do that? Well, you got to reach out to them. You actually have to start the conversation. That's what you have to do. And most people don't want to do that. A lot of people, when I finally crack through the layers, they're not doing the work. They're like, well, I haven't contacted somebody in a month. Well, I haven't contacted somebody in a long time. My team was doing so good, and now my team's plateaued. Well, why are you waiting on your team? You be the rock star. Don't wait for anybody else to be the rock star on your team. And I guarantee you, your team's not going to do a thing until they're led by example, and they're led by somebody who's going to put themselves out there. Do something that is scary, that is bold. I would never ask my team to do something that I have not already done or am doing right now. Ever. So if you're telling your team, post, reach out, contact people, cold message, and you're not cold messaging and you're not reaching out, why are you expecting to grow? That's not it. So, that's Rita Davenport told us that leaders retreat and at convention. If it was easy, it'd be sleazy. And that's easy to me. So that'd definitely be some of my advice for if you're stuck. But don't say stuck. Say, am I willing to grow? Excuse me. But so that was another thing I was talking about. One other thing, I wrote three bullet points. My first one, if you are taking notes, was really draw your line in the sand. Really do it. There's a big difference in kind of doing it and really doing it, and stop restarting, because so many people will say, I'm ready to do it this month. I've got goals on the 1st. Well, what happened to you on the 15th, 23rd, and 31st? And then here you are again on the 1st. I've got goals. Keep the goals going every single day, every single week. So that would be the first thing. It's kind of like a diet. Stop quitting the diet. If you stop quitting the diet, you'll have success and you won't have to start over. Stop quitting the business plan. Stop quitting the goals. Stop quitting your action plan. And once you stop quitting, you won't have to restart again. You won't have to rebuild. I promise you, you won't have to rebuild. My second bullet point that I have written down is keeping your business doors open. This one is huge. We don't have signs up and displays and light up open signs and letting people know when we're open. So the way that you can keep your business doors open is by continuously being consistent. I'll say that again, continuously being consistent in your products and in your posting and in your reaching out and engagement. And I know people are like, no, you're going on vacation. Let's say you're going on vacation. You're out of town for the weekend. You better still post. I'm not saying you still have to contact 3 people while you're out Friday, Saturday, Sunday going to Colorado skiing. That's not what I'm saying. You can pre-plan for that. You can contact a lot more people on Thursday before you leave the plane, or you can post-work that and contact a lot more people when you come home on Monday. But when you're still on vacation, you post. You do. It doesn't have to be long. It can be quick and easy. Block with a cheeseburger. Done. Block in a margarita. Done. Plexus Slim on the mountaintops. Woo, Plexus travels with me. Done. You still have your business doors open, because I guarantee you the second you close your business doors, people are going, ha ha, she quit. She's done. I knew that was going to happen. They're watching you more than you think. And the second that you don't post, they're going to go with somebody else who does have business doors open. I was actually telling my team last night, I have had so many people come to me who've said things like, my cousin's an ambassador, but I want to go with you because you've continuously posted every day, and I look forward to your posts. I'm like, you don't want to go with your cousin? Like, no, girl, she don't post about that. She did for a week, but I want to go with somebody who knows what they're doing. I've had somebody even tell me, my sister is an ambassador, but I want to go with you. And I said, whoa, I'm not trying to start family drama here. Are you sure you don't want to go with your sister? And they said, no, my sister don't know nothing about Plexus. I know you know something. I said, how do you know? We don't even talk. She said, I can just tell through your posting. Me and this girl didn't even know each other. I didn't even talk to her about Plexus. It was all through my business doors being open. So if your business doors, if you pulled that little light, you're closed, you didn't post for 2 days, that's dampering. That's taking 4 steps back each time. So even if nobody's liking your posting, But the same old 3 people who is your upline, your downline, and your sideline, keep posting. Keep posting. Keep doing it, because the more consistent you are, the more it's going to grow. It is. It's just like starting a team page or a team thread or starting a diet or making a meal plan, whatever that is that you're working towards. It's going to take work and effort, everything it is. So my second one was definitely keep your business doors open. So excuses, stop there too. You do it. If you're traveling, you're going to be, my flight's 12 hours. Well, guess what you need to do the night before? Go ahead and pre-make that post, save it in the notes of your phone. So the second you wake up in the morning or before you board that plane, post it. Done. You didn't even have to think about it. So I relate a lot to teaching. And I actually just posted this in my team page today. I talked about lesson plans for your business. I make lesson plans all the time for kids to learn. Well, make a lesson plan for your business. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do this week? What are you going to do this month? Don't look too far ahead. Those are goals. Look far ahead for that, but not in your action, because it's going to change daily. So challenge you. What are you going to do this week, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day? Go ahead and gather your YouTube video you want to watch as a training for yourself. Go ahead and gather the information you want to post. Take a picture. Nobody knows you posted that picture and you took the picture 3 days ago. Nobody knows. That's okay. You can fake it till you make it a little bit. Nobody knows that at all. Nobody knows. I mean, if you've got a team thread going on, go ahead and organize what you want to send your girls in your thread every day for their training. You have a team page. I pre-plan a lot of things in my team page. A lot of things are spur of the moment because I'm feeling it. But a lot of things are like, I need to teach on that. Well, I'm going to get ready and I'm going to get that together. And that looks like a great thing for about Thursday, because I already got something going on for Monday and Wednesday. And I don't want to overwhelm them all in one day with 4 different training topics. I'm going to save that for this day. Having a plan of action is huge. If you are going to the gym and you just walk in and go, well, what am I going to do? You're probably going to walk on the treadmill for 45 minutes and barely break a sweat. But if you go in and say, I'm doing 10 push-ups, 4 rounds of intervals, that's better. That's a plan. You go to the grocery store hungry with no list. Oreos end up in your cart every dang time. Every time you got goldfish. Every time you bought the Bluebell. Every time. That's why you sit down, you make a list, and you stick to the list. You will be more successful. That's it. You meal plan. I did it today. I love the meal plan, but I guarantee you the second I don't meal plan, guess what we had for supper? Peanut butter and jelly and Cheetos. But, the second I do meal plan, we have grilled chicken in the fridge for, 6 breaths worth. I've got sweet potatoes baked. I've got chicken salad made. I've planned. Why not take all those things that you do for everything else and apply it to your business? So keep your business doors open with a plan. And the third bullet point, the last one I wrote down for y'all tonight, was being bolder than bold. And I know you hear this quite often, but I'm not talking about just like kind of bold. I'm talking about talk to a brick wall bold. Like just talk. What does it matter? Get yourself out there. If you follow me on Facebook, you know that I will hashtag all the time like no bra CEO, or I will hashtag all the time like, just crazy stuff. But that's me. Just being bold, be who you are. How you would talk to your best friend, besides the maybe dirty words or cuss words, take that out. Post like that to somebody. How you would talk to somebody, your mom, your sister, your best friend. Talk to Facebook like that. I tell my team all the time, don't get textbooky on them. The second you get textbook, done. The second you're like, and X Factor is aloe based with da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da capsules and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. People don't want that. That's great information, and your team needs to know that, but you can do that in your team page, or you can do it one-on-one when somebody's asking more about those capsules. People want to know a story. That's what they want to know. People want to know, how does that fit in her normal daily lifestyle that's kind of crazy, on the go, shopping, mom, daycare, vacation, this, that. They want to know, how's it going to help them. They don't want to know necessarily, and I know testimonies are great. They are to an extent, but people don't want to know random Susie Q that you don't even know. They're like, okay, cool, but they want to know about the people you know. They want to know about your friends, your family, you. They're who you know. So share your journey, your story. That is what you've got to do to be successful in that. And that is being bold and talking to somebody. I'm an eavesdropper out in, public. And I know, like, have you ever seen that show, Long Island Medium on TLC, like where she's like channeling in somebody like the dead people? Well, I'm not doing that. But I'm saying, like, when you're listening to somebody channel into a conversation, like my husband will even be like, You know, I mean, one time we were at Buckle, hypothetically, and the girl was like, oh my gosh, you know, hey, this will look cute on you, girl. You got cute legs. And he's like, here she goes. She's about to channel him. I'm like, oh, well, thanks, girl. That's Plexus. And she's like, what's Plexus? Boom, conversation. We were at a restaurant. I think we were at Cracker Barrel or something like that. The girl was so sweet and bubbly. And this and she's like, what are y'all doing? And this and he was like, I can just see my husband's face. He's like, she's about to channel her. Here she goes, Plexus. But like, you just got to get it into the conversation. So what? She thinks you're nuts. So what? She doesn't talk to you again. So what? She don't want to hear about it. Do it. Seriously, do it. What does it matter? And get them right then and there to you. Add them on Facebook. You're like, girl, you on Facebook? Yeah. Hand them your phone. Make them type their name in. And you know what I always do when I do that? I screen, like while I'm still talking to them, eye contact, so they don't know anything. I screenshot it right then. I press the button in the side. So then when I go home later, I go to my pictures and I'm like, okay, I need to message that girl because I'm not going to remember her name. I mean, I'm not. And so those are things that I do out in public of like, I go back and in the day, did I screenshot somebody today? Oh yeah, I screenshotted 2 people. Hey girl, it was so nice meeting you at Cheddar's. You were a wonderful waitress. You were so bubbly. Love chatting with you. Girl, the more I got thinking about it, you would be awesome on my Plexus team. I am looking for people just like you. I know so many girls who are waiting tables and making extra money. I myself was a waitress. If I had Plexus back in the day, girl, my life would be changed. Okay? So what? She doesn't message you back. Guess what? She might. She might. Be bold. If you are not reaching out to people out in public that you do not know and be befriending people out there in public that you do not know, you're doing it wrong. I promise you, your network's going to shrivel up and run dry, and one day you're going to contact everybody you have in your whole entire Facebook friends, and one day, before you know it, you're going to feel like everybody's on Plexus, and one day, I mean, that's happened to me. I have contacted literally like every person I possibly can that's not on Plexus. So what do I need to do now? I need to meet new friends. I got to make another lap around Target just because I kind of got to eavesdrop into that girl when she's like, oh, my head hurts. I was at McAllister's the other day. It's a restaurant here in town. And a girl and her friend were in front of me. And they were like, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. They're like 2 diet friends. So like, she goes, are you going to get a sweet tea? And she goes, I don't know. Are you going to get a sweet tea? Okay, well, if you get a sweet tea, I'll get a sweet tea. So you can tell both of them wanted the dang sweet tea, but neither one of them wanted to be the only one who got the tea because they were trying to watch their weight. And Plexus, I used to be like Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty with my tea. Like I used to drink it hardcore. And so I said, girls, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but I used to have a crazy Uncle Si addiction to tea. And they were like, what? And I said, have you ever seen Duck Dynasty? They're like, yeah. And I said, so while y'all talking about sweet tea, just had me thinking, have you ever heard of Plexus? It has changed my life. And they're like, no. Y'all, one of those girls went home and signed up right then and there that day. She did. I don't know these girls. I don't know, but I was just brave and I was bold. And you might think, oh, it's easy. She'll talk to a brick wall. Okay, cool. But do I still get a little fast heart and go, do I still get dry mouth? Yes, I do. I'm human. Do they think I'm crazy? Yes. Do I still think, oh God, what's going to happen if they come back and say something crazy? Do I have to get sassy? Do I have to be like, what do I got to do? But guess what? Just let it go out and be natural like a friend. The second you go textbooky on them and you're like, Plexus is a health and wellness company. Done. You're like, girl, use words like girl, sister, friend. Oh my God, me too. That's the people want to talk to. Nobody wants to talk to. We have 16 lines that'll help you regulate your blood sugar. No, don't go textbook. And so when you're typing to people or you're voice messaging to people, be bold in those too. I don't even type to people anymore. Like rarely type to my messages to people. I'm like, hey girl. And then, that's just what I do. I think voice texts are amazing because they're so personal. And I'm like, look, sister, let me tell you, I'm on 3 products called the Triplex, but let me tell you what these products do. They have rocked my world. I no longer have headaches because my blood sugar is regulated. I don't crave Krispy Kreme donuts and chocolate chips like out the wazoo like I used to. I could turn around and say and be a textbook, but a girl wants to know what's it going to do for her. So of course I'm going to give more information to her the second I kind of get her in, get her on it, and she's like, "Oh, cool." And I'm like, "You know what, girl? I'd love to send something over for you to watch or to read. Let me." And then she gets more information that way. And of course I'm going to be there for questions, but she wants to know what's it going to do for her. And she wants to know what did it do for you. So be bold in that and be you. But I could ramble to y'all all night long. So those are just my 3 tips of advice. Being bolder than bold, keeping your business doors open and like for real drawing the line.
Oh my gosh, Jill, that was incredible. I can't wait to listen to this call again and take more notes. I loved everything that you shared. I mean, I think we have to kind of, hold on, I'm going to turn off the Zoom call real quick.